First things first, I want to just acknowledge with you really quick how absolutely insane the past week has been. To see Kendrick Lamar and Drake go song for song. What a time to be alive, to be able to witness this live. To be able to appreciate it. I mean, there will be documentaries made about this. I guarantee you Netflix is already drawing up templates. Guarantee you in a year, we will be able to watch a documentary about this entire thing that we are witnessing unfold right here, right now. It's incredibly inspiring too, and just jaw-dropping to see these artists go song for song. The passion that they hold for their career is insane, and that's something that you and I both need to adopt, without a doubt. But there's more than meets the eye, and there's more that needs to be discussed than just who is winning this rap battle, which bar is slandering who the most. And if you give me a couple minutes of your time, I promise to open your eyes to more than just the recent bars and beats that have been released. This battle involves you much more than just this current moment, just this past week. It involves you into the future. It involves our future youth as well. This battle is not just who hates who more. Who's number one? This battle determines how our youth is going to get their values. A lot of people get values from music. A lot of people look up to artists like this because it is such an influential media. Now, before you start going like, nah, dude, it's not that deep. Like, it's just music. Allow me to explain, because I was watching this one video and it really opened my eyes to this. And that's what I'm here to do for you today, is open your eyes to what is happening on a larger scale. I was watching the breakdown video. I can't remember who it was by. I'll tag him in the comments or in the description because he is absolutely hilarious. And if you want a good laugh, definitely check him out. He goes crazy. But in this video, he brought up the difference in values of this individual, of these two individuals' music. Like Kendrick Lamar versus Drake, in terms of the type of values they instill in the youth. They both influence our youth, but to different degrees. Just like Kendrick said, not like us. Drake does not do it in the same way that Kendrick does. It's something that the gentleman that I was watching the video from, the breakdown video from, brought up, was that Drake wears nail polish, and that is going to influence the youth. But what are his motives for doing that? Like, he's making it cool, you know, you see more youth wear nail polish and whatnot. He probably has a check from a nail polish company saying like, hey, start wearing nail polish, because if we could sell to guys and girls, that's going to double our profit margins. Drake's values are to influence the youth to make him more money and more famous. Whereas you see Kendrick with his music talking about all of the mistakes that he has made in his life. And he showcases that through the music and tries to show the younger generation that that's not how it has to be. Like, you look at Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, that is a serious introspective album. Serious introspective. But it's not made for him. It's made to show the youth what he has gone through, to relate to them, to show them where you can end up, to show how to properly live in this life, to instill proper values, whereas Drake wants to instill improper values, selfish values. Something that the other dude brought up is like the Drake with the nail polish situation, but Kendrick Lamar is going to tell you that there's calcium in the water and it's calcifying your pineal gland. Like, bro, that is real. Like, I know those are exaggerated, but that is real. Light needs to be shed on the differences in values between the types of media that you consume. And that is what I am here doing for you today, is I'm trying to show you the differences between the values in the media that you consume. For instance, if you take everything that Drake says as face value, you're going to end up having a freaky weekend with mimosas and ending up in jail. Like, that's just how it's going to go. And that's also something that the dude brought up, and it cracked me up. His delivery on it is impeccable. Whereas with Kendrick, you're going to end up barefoot, walking through a forest, appreciating all different facets of life. They are not the same. Be wary of what type of media you consume, because if you consume Kendrick Lamar, you will be furthering his mission in life. What's his mission? His mission is to, well, for one, he wants to get bigger and more popular, but for the reason of showcasing his values, to showcasing and instilling values in the younger generation. Whereas if you listen to Jake, you'll be doing the same thing, helping him get bigger, but also for what reason? For him to get richer? Like, what values is he instilling in the youth? They're not great values. I promise you that. Just listen to a couple of his songs and you'll know that this is not the same as Kendrick's songs. You will be making him richer and more famous, but for his own gain, for his own selfish gain. We need to start being more aware of the media that we consume as an individual. We need to look at who this is going to benefit, and is it going to benefit us? And this goes from music all to throughout all other forms of media. This is important stuff. Something I want to bring up is Master Shi Heng Yi. He is a Shaolin master in Germany, and he's been doing a lot of interviews with the Mulligan brothers recently, and they're all amazing. I highly recommend you watch them. But something that he mentions is that back in the day, the Shaolin had all of this wisdom collected and held in one place. But through raids and fires, this wisdom has been lost to them and scattered throughout the world. Now, this wisdom, he says, is retrievable in the most unsuspecting places. In reference to the Kendrick Lamar, it's in Kendrick's music. The wisdom is within Kendrick's music. And if you're living consciously, you're going to be able to see and pick up these values and pieces of wisdom that have been lost to the world, but people like Kendrick are trying to bring forth once more. I mean, it's really easy to listen to Kendrick's music and kind of not listen to the lyrics as well. Like, for reference, when I first heard Swimming Pools by Kendrick Lamar, my buddy showed it to me and we were using it as a drinking song. Now go back and listen to that song now, and that song is literally about the toxicity of drinking and the toxicity of peer pressure and what it does to an individual. And we were using it as a fucking drinking song. Like, living consciously will allow you to look at different forms of media and to gain wisdom from them. Instead of just mindlessly consuming all of this media and not knowing how it's subconsciously programming your mind or your life. You live consciously and choose what types of media that you want to consume. This is why I think it's so big with the Drake and Kendrick thing. It's so important to talk about because this is a perfect example. You see Kendrick instilling proper values and you see Drake instilling improper values into our youth. And by supporting one or the other, you're furthering their mission. You're furthering their music to reach more people. And it's affecting you as well. They are subconsciously programming your brain. And so you have the opportunity to choose who you listen to. If you're going to listen to the one about fucking bitches and getting money, you will have improper values. But if you listen to Kendrick, you will have proper values. So be wary of the type of content that you are consuming on a daily basis. Be wary. Be vigilant. Consume the proper ones. And water your roots and grow tall.